keep it live, that's right. From Pennsylvania to across the globe, it's time for the Steelers All-Star Show.
Welcome to the Steelers by the Lake podcast. My name is James Strong, joined once again by my co-hosts Cody Tanner and Jill from Ohio. Folks, how are you doing on this day after Thanksgiving, aka Black Friday?
Oh, it's Black Friday. I got all my shopping done the last 3 days. I am doing well, getting ready for more chaos as another holiday rolls in. So, Jill, how are you?
I am exhausted. I went Black Friday shopping for the first time today, and I don't understand what all the hype is about. I much rather would be sleeping in bed than up at that early hour, especially when I don't have to work. But it was fun. I went with my sister and my niece. We had a good time. So, James, how are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well. I got to watch a little bit of football with a neighbor next door yesterday, and that turned out well for us. That Pittsburgh back in charge in the North. Who would have thought that was going to happen, right? So looking forward to spending a little bit more time with family tomorrow and watching some more football, eating some good food.
Yeah,
I called it with Joe Burrow coming back. I said, you watched the nice little NFL script that they got going on. They're like, Joe Burrow's back, guys. He has to win on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And we'll take it. We'll take it. James, speaking of Black Friday, for those of you who haven't been around long enough, James and I met when we worked at Best Buy together. And Black Friday has always been crazy. And James, I remember one time that the news tried to interview me right when we opened, when we were working at Best Buy. And you were like, nope, he's got to go. And I ran off live TV.
They had the audacity to try to interview him right as we were opening, and I literally grabbed him by his shirt and pulled him and started sprinting back to the home theater department, which was the back of the store. I forgot about that until you brought that up right now. Cody's moment to shine. They thought they were going to get an interview. I was like, hell no, I need this boy back at home theater.
Yep, that was a great time.
Wow.
A hilarious time. That was the year they tried to set everything up with, they handed out cards in the line outside. So people go in with the cards and then they get what they want. It was very strange time. But James and I were back at Best Buy the other day, got to say hi to some old workmates of ours, old coworkers. So that was a fun time. But yeah, let's, before we go into the Steelers things real quick, let's talk about yesterday briefly. I mean, Joe Burrow's back. He comes out, they make Baltimore not look the way Baltimore's been looking recently.
Absolutely. That offensive line did a horrible job protecting Lamar Jackson. He was under duress all game long, making very uncharacteristic mistakes. He didn't look healthy to me, just making bad throws and fumbling the ball and getting smacked left and right by a Cincinnati Bengals defense that has not been a good defense all year long. So you have to feel like that's a good omen for the possibility of Pittsburgh taking down Baltimore with both matchups still forthcoming.
Yeah.
No, I think you said it best, James. Like, Lamar just doesn't look as healthy with all the lower body injuries that he's sustained. He's not looking like his true form. But even Joe Burrow, like he still played well, but he was not accurate. There was a lot of missed throws that were just off by a hair that I feel like he was still trying to get into his groove. So just overall, like all around, watching it was a little sloppy. I'm like, sloppy football everywhere. And the longest first half of a game I've ever sat through.
It was pretty long.
What's funny is I felt like Joe Burrow looked better running the football than he did passing.
Yes!
He looked quick.
I was like, wow, I thought that thing was uncomfortable in your shoe, but apparently not. So
he must be all the way healed on that injury, that's for sure.
Yeah. So obviously with that loss for the Ravens, Pittsburgh takes control of the North again. Obviously, if we lose this week, we're back behind them, especially being a conference game. But we do have the Bills. Before we talk about the preview for the Bills, we'll go over injury for both teams as well as the depth chart and the roster for the Bills. We have some good news for a former Pittsburgh Steeler, James.
Yeah, Hines Ward getting the nomination as a semi-finalist for the Hall of Fame. He is one of 26 candidates. The only former Pittsburgh Steeler to be nominated to this round, which does mean 11-time Pro Bowler Marquise Pouncey did not make it to the semi-finalist stage in his first year of eligibility,
Crazy.
which I think is an absolute crime against humanity. And there's like 5 or 6 wide receivers this year, a very similar cast to previous years, with Larry Fitzgerald probably being the number one guy out of the group. But there's some real big names this year, and I don't feel really good about the chances of Hines getting in this year. I think like Drew Brees is eligible, and Jason Witten, and there's some all-time greats that quite likely will go first ballot and make it a little bit more difficult for Hines this year.
Yeah, I mean, just going over the first time guys, you said Drew Brees,
Yeah.
Lomas Brown from the Lions in the 90s.
Yeah.
You also have Larry Fitzgerald first time, Frank Gore first time, Phillip Rivers, potential guy there. And then the last one, Kevin Williams and Jason Witten. So
Yeah.
those are all just the first time guys.
Yeah, Witten, Breeze, and Fitzgerald are first ballot guys in my opinion, so that makes it real difficult.
Yeah.
So that'll be rough for Hines Ward. This is his 10th time going in, and that's the most anyone else on this list has been nominated. It's him and Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne was 7, and Fred Taylor was 7. So, one guy has been nominated more, Torrey Holt. So, and there's a chance Torrey Holt goes in before him too, which is crazy. So
yeah, and that's the problem, is that there's a log jam of these really high-end wide receivers that there's, like I said, I believe there's 5 or 6 of them, and you just mentioned the amount of years these other guys have been waiting. Now, that also have very incredible resumes. So we need some of these guys to start getting in. That's how Hines gets in, is some of the log jam clears up by some of them getting nominated. So the more wide receivers go in this year, the better it is for Hines if he does not get in.
Yeah. I think he should go in this year, but that's just me. Let's bounce over to some news for current players. We had one current player get suspended for 5 games for using physically enhancing drugs, which is very unfortunate. That's a violation. And luckily, he can serve it while he's on the IR.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a lose win, I guess, is how you would say that.
Yeah, Dan Aquale got slammed this week, and it's a 5-game suspension, so you have to assume that it's not something minor that he got hit for. Exactly what it is, we'll probably never know, but it seems that he was probably trying some extra substances to come back from his injury, which I believe was like an ACL. I think it was a knee injury. He's definitely done for the year. I remember that much. So big mistake for him, because that will probably negatively impact other teams wanting to bring him onto their roster next season, although his suspension will be 100% served.
Yeah. That'll be good for him. Steelers did release cornerback Daquan Hardy and linebacker Mark Robinson from the practice squad to side wide receiver Cornell Powell and defensive end Anthony. I don't know his last name. Goodlow. Can't see
it. Zoom in on the note.
Yeah, and this is probably more of a move as far as like the wide receiver room. They were probably a little bit nervous about DK's ankle. Obviously, we weren't sure whether or not that was going to go well for him this week. And then the defensive end move probably more to do with the fact that Derek Harmon did not practice all week long with that knee injury, which I didn't even hear about after the game. It was like a day after that people were talking about, wait a minute, Harmon's got a knee and he might miss some extended time here. I didn't hear anybody talk about the injury happening during the game. So that's a frustrating one, but a real big opportunity for Y.A. Black, as he will likely be inserted into the starting lineup.
Yep. Last news before we go over and preview this game is Andrus Peat is listed as the starter at left tackle, and that was announced per Mike Tomlin. So Andrus Peat will be starting in place of the injured Broderick Jones. We'll obviously get to that injury as well when we to discuss injuries, which is next on the list. But before we go too far, we do want to share a word from our sponsors, and that is the Edinburgh Hotel Bar. So support for the Steelers by Light podcast is provided by the Edinburgh Hotel Bar, a family-friendly, smoke-free establishment located at 100 Meadville Street in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. They offer lunch, dinner, and a catering service with private party accommodations available for up to 75 people. Details can be found at EdinburghHotelBar.com or at 814-734-5103. We do love the Edinburgh Hotel Bar. All of us have been there before.
Yeah, all been
Even Jill from Ohio, one time after a wedding, she went there and partied it up. So it's a good time. Pat there's awesome guy. So go check them out. But James, let's discuss injuries. Looking first at the Steelers, the two guys listed already out is Broderick Jones dealing with the neck injury and Derek Harmon listed with that knee injury. Then you have a slew of guys listed with injuries that were full participants by the end of the week. So that's including DK Metcalf with the ankle, Aaron Rodgers with the left wrist, Ben Skoranek with a shoulder, Joey Porter Jr. with a hip, Alex Highsmith with the pectoral injuries back to practicing fully, and then Cameron Hayward with his ankle. Then you have TJ Watt and Jonnu Smith listed as fully participated but non-injury related resting. And then same thing with Isaac Siamalu. He's listed as non-injury related resting, and he didn't participate on Friday, however. So I still expect him to play. I thought that was a little weird, but that is what it is. Big things, Broderick and Derek Harmon.
Yeah, Joe, what's your take? Which one of these guys that's coming back from injury are you most excited about?
Coming back from the injury? Well, I'm happy that Skoranek was cleared because I was worried. As we see, if you weren't watching or if you're listening on Spotify, I was like, thank you, Jesus, that Skoranek was a full participant because he's just so crucial to our team and more like with the way he can block, the way he can receive. I mean, the way he's a gunner on special teams. He is just all over the field. And so for him to be out or the potential of him being out had me a nervous wreck. So to see that he's a full participant on Friday or from today is like, whew, okay, I can breathe a little easier now. I'm glad that DK's good with the ankle. I'm skeptical about Rodgers still. I don't want him rushing back. I mean, he fully participated. He didn't participate on Wednesday, but then he was full yesterday and Friday, which is today. I can't keep my days straight. I was off work on Wednesday and I've had the whole week off and I just don't know what day is what anymore.
Not always a bad thing. Not always a bad thing.
But I'm all thrown off. I'm like, today feels like Saturday, especially because we're recording. We always Saturday. Yep. So I'm like, it's Saturday. It's not. It's Friday, everybody. If you listen, it's Friday that we're recording this. Anyway, so I'm excited that Porter is full as well because I know that hip was questionable. And if I'm being completely honest, we all know my opinion about Darius Slay. And so for him to be fully I'm like, praise God, because I don't want to see Darius Slay on that field. I don't want to see it. And we all knew if JPJ was down, he's the one going in and we would have had a collective crash out. So
oh yeah, we've had a number of those this year.
Absolutely. I'm pretty stoked about Alex Highsmith being back, to be honest with you, because the last time he missed some time, his first game back, he registered 2 sacks, and then he followed up again the next week with 2 sacks. So I expect a big game out of Alex. He's going to be highly motivated, especially with this team just kind of being up and down, up and down. You never know what we're going to get one week from the next. You do seem to know what you're getting out of Alex Highsmith when he's healthy. So he was starting to really put some wonderful performances together before this pectoral injury that sidelined him the last 2 weeks. So I'm really excited to see him back. Nice seeing Cam fully healthy by the end of the week there. Back-to-back practices, like you said, with Aaron Rodgers, also very encouraging. And honestly, after seeing some more tape from last week's game, hearing the breakdowns from a lot of professionals, it sounds like Mason just kind of didn't see the field very well, was missing open guys, not necessarily not throwing to him, or I'm sorry, not necessarily missing the throws to them, just missing the fact that they were wide open and not throwing it to him.
Roman Wilson.
Yeah, Roman Wilson. That's the big one I kept on hearing from last week's game.
Yep.
So I think he can play better than he did last week, but it kind of showed you the drop off there is there from Aaron Rodgers to Mason Rudolph, unfortunately. Right. So yeah, it's nice because I really thought going into this game we were going to be talking about 4 or 5 starters that played last week being out, and instead it's only 2 of them. So So that's great. Hopefully Andrus Pete is up to the challenge, man. This is not the most stout defensive line in the world, not the best pass rushers in the world. I was surprised to see him get the start over Spencer Anderson, or not Spencer Anderson, but Calvin Anderson.
I was gonna say, would you put Calvin Anderson in instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's all performance based, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're practicing this week. It must be that Andrus looked better in practice.
Yeah. That's fair.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting to watch the guys come back from injury. Aaron Rodgers, just like you said, Jill, I don't know how to feel about it because the team hasn't been performing with or without him, in my opinion, to some degree. Obviously, he's had some big games, but still, we've left a large portion of the field unpassed to, and so I'm hoping that is the big change, no matter who's it comes in at quarterback. Looking at the Buffalo Bills injury, they have a few guys already listed as out. That's going to be Terrell Bernard, linebacker, dealing with an elbow injury. Spencer Brown, the offensive tackle, and Dion Dawkins, also the other offensive tackle, one out with a shoulder injury, one out with a concussion. So that's going to be huge. And then you have Josh Allen dealing with an elbow injury, more than likely going to play. Reggie Gilliam, the fullback, knee injury, going to play. Tylen Grable, offensive tackle with a concussion, unspecified. Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, concussion, unspecified. Those concussion ones are hard. They just need to clear protocol. And then you have Daquan Jones, a defensive tackle, dealing with an illness and unspecified. Tight end Dalton Kincaid with a hamstring, unspecified. And then you have Fidadrian Mathis, the defensive tackle, dealing with a shoulder injury. Josh Palmer with the wide receiver with an ankle injury listed as questionable. And then the last one is Curtis Samuel, wide receiver, with nothing listed for him game time. I'm assuming he's not going to play. And then same thing, Joey Bosa, I'm assuming he's going to play. Actually, excuse me, Curtis Samuel's probably not going to play. He didn't participate in practice all week. So I don't know about that, but Joey Bosa was fully participant the last 2 days.
So he's probably a go.
Yeah, I can only imagine he's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like from what I'm hearing from other podcasts and Bill's guys that Joey's going to go, but he's basically playing with one arm out there because they're so banged up on that defensive front. But real opportunity for our pass rushers, right? Both starting offensive tackles out for the Bills, and some injuries on that tight end room as well. So, I mean, they gave up, what was it, 7 or 8 sacks last week?
A lot.
The Houston Texans, it was a ton.
Now they have like the number one defense, and their defensive line, like the defensive ends, are fast.
Yeah,
very fast.
They are. But would you call Nick Herbig slow?
No.
Would you call T.J. Watt slow?
No, but they're not as big as Will Anderson. Well, TJ might be.
Yeah, I'd say TJ is probably about Will Anderson's size. Just I don't know that TJ's as fast as Will is these days, being on the wrong side of 30 years old. But I mean, even Alex Highsmith is not the slowest guy in the world. So this should be a real good matchup for these outside linebackers to prove their ability to get after the quarterback. But that all comes back to the coverage guys. They have to play press coverage against this, let's call it what it is, inferior wide receiver core for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a little nervous just because historically, when we go up against a team that's riddled with injuries, we then somehow forget how to play football and look like we're a JV team.
That's our specialty.
Right. So it scares me when I see like, oh, there's so much opportunity because you've got these tackles that are out. You've got a tight end that's potentially out, this wide receiver room that's falling apart. I'm like, that spells turnover city for us. But we've said that multiple times on this show, and then we're proven wrong, unfortunately.
Keon Coleman hasn't been playing, correct?
I think he's been playing, but playing poorly.
Well, I think they had him sit last week because of that, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think you're right. I believe he got a healthy scratch. He was actually one of the inactives recently.
Yeah. And so this is such a scary game because Josh Allen is still MVP material, still a playmaker, still a baller.
Right.
He has been making some mistakes recently, but man, is it scary. And then you got Mitchell Trubisky, who's the backup there again, and he's familiar with our system a little bit. I'm not scared of him at all. No, I'm not scared of him coming in whatsoever. But he at least has, some insight on how Tomlin prepares the team. He can give them some insight. And that's a normal thing that you see happen across the board in the NFL, but it's just a matter of this Bills team is not one to take lightly. They're still one of the top teams in the AFC, but it's just annoying because I sit here and I want to be confident. These injuries are like, oh my gosh, we can like take apart their defense here or attack them here. And I'm like, we're not going to do that because we never do. So it's a matter of like, do I get happy or do I just start getting sad for the things we're not going to do? I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
And I understand your skepticism, but like last week, the injuries were to the middle linebacker room, and we attacked it with the running game and had our best running performance of the year. So to a degree, they have been attacking weaknesses on other teams. It just didn't get the end result they wanted last week because of poor performance by the passing team.
Yeah.
But that's the point of why did we not attack those guys with the passing game? That's the frustration. I feel like Pittsburgh's trying so hard to be that run first team, control the clock. Go put up points. Just go put points on the board and score more than the other team. Please, 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 please.
Please, please.
Just a couple times a year. That's all I want.
A couple.
Well, listen.
Every week. What do you mean?
I know. It's just tough. It's just tough. Let's go ahead and break down their roster real quick, and then we can kind of discuss, the weak spots that we've already discussed a little bit with the injuries. But starting on offense, Josh Allen being their starting quarterback. They have the running back duo of James Cook III and Ray Davis. Well, you'll see mostly James Cook, both ability to catch and run the ball. Reggie Gilliam is that fullback who was listed with the injury. And then the wide receiver room, Keon Coleman, who's been a healthy scratch at least once recently. Khalil Shakir and Joshua Palmer. Again, Joshua Palmer dealing with the injury. And then Curtis Samuel still dealing with an injury. And Tyrell Shavers is backing all those guys up. Again, really, really beat up wide receiver room. Tight end room, Dalton Kincaid dealing with the injury. Dawson Knox backing him up. Still a very, very capable tight end. And then that offensive line. You have Deion Dawkins at the left tackle, who's already listed as out, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Correct. Out.
Same thing with right tackle Spencer Brown. So
Correct.
Both their starting tackles are out. Then you have left guard David Edwards, center Connor McGovern, and right guard Osiris Torrance. So go eat outside linebackers. It's that's kind of day, Happy Thanksgiving, eat some turkey or Josh Allen, either one.
Yeah, so some opportunities here, right? But the thing to me is that you cannot underestimate this rushing game. James Cook has been having one heck of a season rushing the football. And when Josh Allen is on, which it seems to be almost like every other week with them, he's obviously a Pro Bowl caliber, NFL MVP caliber quarterback. So he can never be underestimated, his abilities to find the open guy and create outside of the regular structure of the offense. So more important than ever that you shut down the run game this week, and more important than ever that you play aggressive up front press coverage on the wide receivers. Because if you just sit back and say, oh, we're going to focus on stopping the run, we're going to give him a little cushion outside, he's just going to pick you apart. You don't need talented wide receivers to complete 5-yard out patterns.
Yeah. James Cook is 38 rushing yards away from his career best. So,
wow. With how many games left? Like 6?
Yep.
It's impressive, man.
So put it there. He's already guaranteed. I mean, he already has over 1,000 yards rushing this year. He did have 16 touchdowns last year. He's only at 8 this year. But again, he's got games left to play. So, and again, like we said, the dual threat aspect with him, receiving yards, if I can find those, it looks like that's all rushing. Receiving, he's still at 203 yards on 24 receptions. So he's averaging 8.5 yards a reception. So he's definitely a threat in the passing game as well. And then obviously, yeah, I mean, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So
yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, the key here with Josh is to keep pressure on him, of course, and not give him those quick, easy throws. He has been pressured an insane amount on third downs this year and not done well under that situation. So it's important that Pittsburgh, instead of sitting back and playing, passive third down defense, comes after him, puts some pressure on him.
Mm-hmm. Pressure on him, and I would like to see the hands in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Batted down passes.
Yep.
Bat him down.
Get them up. We got YA and Cam out there today, or tomorrow. Not even tomorrow, Sunday.
I know, right? See, I told you.
I'm messed up too, Jill.
On a Fridays.
There is football today. It's just not us.
I know I have it playing in the background, but I can't see it. So
yeah.
it's somewhere back there.
Let's go ahead and bounce over to the defensive side of the ball. Looking at their front four, they run a 4-3 defense. Greg Russo, starting defensive end, along with Joey Bosa. Interior defensive linemen are Deion Walker and Daquan Jones. Daquan Jones, again, on the injury list as well. And then you got the trio of linebackers, Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, and Dorian Williams. Those are going to be their starting linebacker crew. Expect to see a little bit of Shaq Thompson in there as well. And then their cornerback room, Tre'Davious White, still very capable, kind of falling off from where he used to be. Christian Benford is the other starting outside corner. And then Taron Johnson would be their starting nickel. And then the big guy in the secondary, Jordan Poyer, next to Cole Bishop at safety position. So not the scariest defense, but definitely not the easiest one we've played all year. You got to worry about Joey Bosa. You got to worry about that defensive front. And then I think that secondary is one to be, it's going to be tough picking them apart. So we'll see how we play.
And I think you're playing almost all backups in that linebacker group because I'm pretty sure Milano is out, and I know Bernard was on the injury list too. So I don't think most of their starting off-ball linebackers are actually healthy for this game.
Okay, Matt Milano did play last week. He registered.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he must have just come back then because I know he's been missing time this year.
Yeah, so Milano missed week 6 and 8 and 3 and 4, but he's played the last 4 weeks. So
okay,
he should be good to go. Who else did you say? Terrell Bernard?
Bernard, he was on the injured list as being out, I believe.
He is out, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he still played the last 4 weeks, but whatever, he's out now. So yeah, I mean, you'll see probably Joe Anderson then as the backup linebacker to Terrell Bernard. So again, potential weak spot. Let's see if we can, maybe throw to a tight end or two. Or a wide receiver over the middle. I'd be okay with anything at this point.
And honestly, if the run game's working, don't abandon it. Just run it down their throat. You'll get a touchdown eventually. I don't care if you get 30 points. If the other team never has the ball because you're running it down their throat and they can't stop it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Somewhat fine. I want to be able to throw the ball. I want to be able to. You can't just become one-dimensional.
If they can't stop that dimension, then you can.
But I was gonna say, like, if it's successful and they can't stop it no matter what they do, if they look like us against Cincinnati when we played them the first time, where it didn't matter what scheme we threw at them, they just couldn't cover. Like, they couldn't stop anything to save their lives when we played the first matchup. Then you just keep doing what you're doing. But I do agree. I think that's part of I know we'll talk about this later with keys to success, but we have had no great production when it comes to throwing for more than 10 air yards. Like, it is just pathetic, our pass game. I was listening I always shout out Steelers Depot because I get a lot of great stuff from them, but it's like the yards after, our yak is great, but then it's like our yak that actually matters. Because when we throw it 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then we're running.
You can get 7 yards after catch, but you're only getting 2 yards.
Right. So anyway, not to get too off track here.
No. It's important. It's important to discuss. I think the big thing here is going to be what can our offense do to put points on the board. If it is running the ball, sure, run the ball. If we start getting stuffed when we need to do some play action and other options, do it, perform it, do it well. But we're not going to not throw the ball. I've never seen a game where the team ran every single down. But I'm really hoping I don't see plays that go 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to blow a top. It's going to happen. It's not going to be a good time for anybody. I'm going to be watching the game alone, hopefully, because I'm going to lose my brain. It's just going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So I'm hoping to see what we can do. And listen, if it's Aaron reeling the deep balls, make some of those count. DK go up and catch a ball or at least bat it down.
Make an effort. That's
something. Great. And I'm not saying he didn't try the last time, but that wasn't whatever starting $1 million paycheck that he's making every week. That wasn't that effort. That wasn't worth that. So we'll see what happens. Looking at the special teams now, Matt Prater's the kicker. Mitch Wishnowski is the punter and holder. And then you have Khalil Shakur as the punt returner. And kickoff return is Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. And then the long snapper, because they matter too, is Reld. His name is Reld Ferguson. Reld, in case you needed to know.
It's not Reed?
Nope. Oh, it is Reed. Never mind. It looks like an L. Nope, it's Reed. It's Reed Ferguson, number 69.
Reed makes a hair more sense.
Well, listen, on their webpage,
Oh,
it does not look like an I. I'm gonna call him Reld every time I see him tomorrow. On Sunday. Dang.
There's your boy Reld again.
Well,
Oh, Reld. If one of you listeners has a baby on the way, I don't know who that could potentially be, and you name your child Reld, I will forever love you just because it's funny. So, anyways,
but it'll be like silent W.
literally. But that's their special teams.
Oh my gosh.
So that means it's about time to get to our keys to success then, right?
Oh, it is that time, James. I'm gonna go ahead and share. Mr. Nick Pretzel's not with us today. He's on his way to his hunting camp. Him and I will be in the woods tomorrow, not together, but I'm wishing him luck and hopefully he's doing the same for me. We'll share his keys to success first because he's not here. Same thing we did for Jill last week. His number one key to success is hold their top rusher and receiver to a combined total of under 160 yards. With the exception of the loss to Houston, the Bills have lost every single game where that has happened. So that is the goal. Top rusher, top receiver combined less than 160 yards. Kind of a unique one. I like it. But that is the goal. And then key to success number 2 is get to Mr. Josh Allen. He wants to see at least 3 sacks. We have seen Josh make some poor decisions when pressured. And with how we've been so turnover reliant recently, getting Allen rattled would go a long way. So those are his 2 keys to success. We're going to go ahead and start with the one and only Jill today.
Wow, what an honor. I was not prepared, but I will be. Because you know what? I think I'm just going to keep saying it because every time we do this, we do win. And that's winning the turnover battle. Because were we tied with turnovers last week? Like, I don't remember the exact stat. I think we both had the same amount of turnovers.
Yeah, it depends on if you count the turnovers on downs. If you count that, then we lost the turnover battle. But if it's just straight turnovers, it was a tie last week.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we need to create more, or we need to create that turnover. That is our identity as a defense. Mm-hmm. So it's drilled into them to punch the ball out. I'd get the strip sacks, get the forced fumbles, go for the interception. And so I need to see at least 3 turnovers and stop the Bills to at least 2. So we need to at least get 1 more forced turnover that's not on downs.
I like it.
Makes lots of sense to me. Well, my first one is going to be one that Cody will absolutely hate because he hates the idea of possibly running the football.
That's not true. That's not true.
But the Buffalo Bills have the 30th ranked run defense. They are absolutely porous when it comes to stopping the run. So it is very, very important that Pittsburgh runs the football successfully. Don't run it just to run it. If it's not working, of course, you got to get your pass plays in there. But this is not the game to pass the ball just to pass the ball, just to try to be balanced. If you're running successfully and they can't stop you and you're converting by just running the football, keep doing it, wear them out, and don't give Josh Allen the opportunities to possess the ball and beat you because he's so doggone good. He'll do it if you give him too many opportunities. And if you score too quickly, you're going to give him those opportunities. So more important than ever to run the ball successfully. I'm calling for a 200-plus yard rushing performance by the entire Steelers team. I don't care who's involved with it. If Darnell runs the ball, if Jonnu runs the ball, Jalen, everybody combined, put them all in the bucket. I want 200-plus yards, and it's not that far-fetched because we got 186 last week. That
is true. Apologize, listeners. James over here using big words like porous. Okay, so
5 letters.
I think my first key to success is gonna be again, it's gonna kind of counter James, and I'm not against the running game.
700 yards passing.
No, I want to see that we can do it. I want to see that we can utilize the middle of the field. My goal is simple. I want 3 passes between the hashes. I want 3 completions to come from between the hashes. I don't care if it's to tight end. I should add a second part to this, and at least 5 yards downfield. I don't want to see a dump off to the hash right past the line of scrimmage. I want to see at least 5. I honestly should say at least 10 yards downfield, but I'm going to go with 5 because that would still be a massive, massive, massive improvement to what we've been doing. And then because I'm unfortunately back to back, I did this to myself. My second key to success is going to be getting, and this is going to steal one potentially from James, is seeing our guys get our hands on balls. I don't care if it's coming from Jill. It was Jill's. She's upset. I don't care if it's linemen. I don't care if it's tip drills, whatever. Hands on balls. It's the same thing. We're going to go ahead and, defensive linemen. I don't care if it's linebackers. I don't care if it's safety, secondary. I want to see a combined 10, Big 10 pass deflections on this game. I want to see us getting to the ball, getting there quickly, forcing incomplete passes. And I think that is a good way to get a win in Pittsburgh against Buffalo.
Very good. I like the pass breakups. That could be a very important key to success for Pittsburgh. So my next one here is going to be I'm up in the air between a couple of them here. Let's go back to the tight end room. As we've talked about a lot already on this episode, this seems like a real opportunity for completing balls over the middle of the field involving the tight ends. So I'm going to go with 8 catches plus out of the entire tight end room. This is omitting Connor Hayward. I don't expect him to be in that group. I mean, if he gets one, fantastic. But I'm saying 8 catches between the other 3 gentlemen that should have the ball going to them on a regular basis. If you do that, you're going to help yourself sustain drives. These guys are chain movers. You want first downs, throw it to your tight ends. You want to get conversions in the red zone, throw it to your tight ends. So 8+ catches between the tight ends.
I like it a lot.
Man, loved going first, hate going last. You literally took I wrote all of this stuff down and you took it.
Sorry, Jill.
The audacity. Well, just how dare we all have great football minds, I guess. So
it's like we know our team.
Right. Well, it's funny because I literally wrote 4 passes with 10+ air yards to the tight ends in the middle in the first half of the game is what I said. So kind of hit on everything that you guys said. I mean, you said 8 to the tight ends. Mm-hmm. Cody, you said passes just 3 with more than 5 yards in between.
Yep. And in the center of the field, preferably.
Yep. So I'm still going to go with that. I say 4 passes with 10+ air yards in the first half. Would be better if it was to the tight end of the middle of the field. But I think we need a little bit. I'm with you, James, with the run game. I think no matter what we do, as long as we are winning the time of possession battle, that's what's going to win us this game. You keep Josh Allen off the field. You keep our offense on the field. You keep the defense rested and ready to go. We're winning this game. But that's true with any football game. Like, your offense keeps the ball, you're winning the game. But I think there needs to be a little bit of confidence in this passing game somewhat, when we at least for some air yards with a throw. And so to see, I mean, heck, at this point, maybe 1 or 2, even just 10+ air yards to anybody. It could be a tight end. It could be a receiver. I'd love to see Roman Wilson get something like that. Scott, it doesn't have to just be DK, which is what I think was Mason's kryptonite last week, where he was just forcing these balls to DK when there were other open options that he just doesn't have the chemistry with. Not that he would with DK, but at this point, there were jokes made at the beginning of the season by Roethlisberger. He's like, I'll just blindfold and I know DK will be down there.
Yep.
But he's not always the most reliable receiver. We've come to learn that through the season. But I think if we start to create some confidence in this pass game, that opens up the offensive threats, that allows us to run the ball a little bit more. You have to establish the run, but it can't just solely be the run, which was also to Cody's point. But if it's successful, it's a give and take. You got to do some of it. And I think if we can get at least, I say 4, that'd be great. But that's a little, given our offense, it's a little bit of a bold prediction instead of a key to success. So leading more to the like 1 or 2 at least of 10 plus yards.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Long-winded explanation.
Doesn't matter. It works. Score prediction time. We're gonna go ahead and share Nick Pretzel's first. He has the score prediction being 28-24 Bills. He doesn't like it, but it's a steep hill to climb this week, he says. So that is his score prediction. Next person on the score prediction is going to be, okay, it's going to be me. I should have saw that coming. I knew how that worked when I clicked that button. I'm going to have score prediction being 34-14 Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Yep. My faith in this team is wavering, in case you have not noticed.
Wavering, it's gone, buddy.
Hey, we're going to score 14. It's going to be late in the fourth, but it's fine.
Late in the right when it doesn't matter. I am going 31-24 with the Bills winning. I don't like it either, but
yeah.
That brings it to me, and I know you guys are looking at me saying, this is the guy that's always optimistic, right? He's going to try and turn the tide. Not today, folks. I got a bad feeling about this. The Bills have had our number for a while, and I am going to give you an oddball score of 29-28. I think Pittsburgh's in the lead at the end, and Buffalo scores a last-second touchdown and goes for 2 and converts it to give Pittsburgh a loss this week. So that's where I'm going. 29-28 with the Bills getting the win this week.
For those of you who are listening and not watching on YouTube, Cody just switched James's little title to no longer Mr.
What a punk.
What a good time. So if you guys have your keys to success you want to share with us on social media or DM us on any social media platform, we'd love to share those on the show as well, or your score predictions. Maybe you're not as pessimistic as us, but who knows? The game will be Sunday. You guys should be getting the show no later than maybe 6 o'clock posted on Friday. Can't thank you guys enough for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. Don't forget the 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. They make James very, very happy. And until next time, this is your host, James, Cody, and Jill from Ohio, signing off.
Peace.
Steelers by